Discover the best in local business news with a subscription to the IBJ and Inside Indiana Business. For a limited time, try us out for just $1 a week for 8 weeks. Claim this limited time offer now at ibj.com/trial offer.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Wednesday, March 4th, 2026. I'm Abriana Herron. A researcher in the Purdue University College of Engineering is using a $50,000 investment to further development on her patent-pending innovation designed to support the curing of concrete using materials from an unusual source. Kendra Irk has developed an internal curing agent that uses upcycled absorbent waste materials from the manufacturer of disposable diapers. She says her team has found the product to be a more sustainable and inexpensive way to reduce the shrinkage of concrete as it cures.
When they make disposable diapers, there's a lot of absorbent particles that are that result from the manufacturer, and they're either scrap or they're the wrong size. And so instead of disposing them in a landfill or incinerating them, what my lab does is we can collect these from the diaper manufacturers and use them to make more durable concrete.
She says the award will provide funding for equipment and supplies, as well as paying the graduate students on her research team. Indiana Governor Mike Braun on Wednesday presented Indiana University football coach Curt Cignetti with the 2026 Sachem Award. The award is considered Indiana's highest honor and is given to individuals who have profoundly shaped Indiana through character, leadership, and service. The Sachem Award was established in 2005 by then-Governor Mitch Daniels. Only one award is presented per year. West Virginia authorities have not alleged any criminal wrongdoings against the driver blamed for the crash that badly injured Indiana Congressman Jim Baird and led to the death of his wife, Danise Baird, nearly 2 months later. A police report found the driver of another vehicle at fault, but he has not been cited or charged. Mark Ralston, law enforcement administrator for the Mongolia County Sheriff's Department in Morgantown, West Virginia, says investigators will notify county prosecutors about the death of Danise. Jim Baird's office announced Sunday that Danise died following complications from injuries she suffered in the accident. Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand is made possible by the following.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
A 2-word drafting error stalled progress for the $40 million Midwest Continental Divide Trail project in St. Joseph County, but lawmakers took steps to fix it in the recently completed legislative session. The new law, Senate Bill 228, clears the way for the county and the city of South Bend to formally seat the Midwest Continental Divide Commission and begin planning a major recreational trail corridor across northern Indiana. Last year, Senate Bill 468 was interpreted to require zoning boundaries to be drawn before the commission could be constituted, the reverse of what lawmakers intended. Democratic Senator David Nesgodsky says the correction is narrow but consequential.
The wording was always intended that the commission would set those boundaries, and the county and the city in their ordinance would also establish parameters of how that commission would operate. So everything in Senate Bill 228 was in conjunction with what the city and the county want to look forward to when they present this to their fiscal bodies.
The bill passed both chambers and awaits the governor's signature. The contested race for Indiana Secretary of State is getting more crowded as former Indianapolis Mayor Greg Ballard announced Wednesday that he will seek the office as an independent. In an interview with the Indianapolis Business Journal, Ballard says his goal is to take the politics out of the Secretary of State's office. He says, quote, "I think an independent can come in there and do what has to be done," end quote. Ballard, who was a Republican when he served as mayor of Indianapolis from 2008 to 2016, enters a field headlined by incumbent Republican Diego Morales and Democrat Bo Bai, the son of former Indiana governor and U.S. Senator Evan Bai. The new bi-state tolling body that oversees financing for the Interstate 69 Ohio River Crossing project unanimously approved 3 resolutions Tuesday, including one that sets the initial toll rates for the future bridge. The tolling body governs policies for Section 2 of the project, which includes construction of a new 4-lane bridge over the Ohio River, connecting Evansville and Henderson, Kentucky. Amanda Spencer, Assistant State Highway Engineer with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, says under the approved policy, tolling will begin January 1st, 2032.
This would mean that a passenger vehicle who has a prepaid account and a transponder would pay $3.14 to cross the bridge. On the other end of the spectrum, the highest toll would be for the largest vehicles with no account, no transponder, and that would be $18.62.
The tolling body plans to meet again in August as financing and procurement efforts continue. I'm Abriana Herron for Inside Indiana Business Radio On Demand.
Whether it's healthcare innovation, major infrastructure, or global sports impact, Inside Indiana Business with Gary Dick tells the stories of Indiana's groundbreakers and game changers. It's the must-listen show for business, civic, and community leaders across the state. Subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts or at ibjpodcast.com.
Want to give your team a real edge? The IBJ Group Plan delivers unlimited access to every story, every report, every video from IBJ and Inside Indiana Business for your whole team. Cover some or all of your employees with one simple payment. The more you add, the more you save. It's smart, it's flexible, and it saves you up to 30% off the standard rate. Already have IBJ subscribers in your office? Group up and save big. Learn more and get started now at ibj.com/group-plan.